notice that this kind of word problem is something similar to what we did in chapter 5, so I'm trying to make the connection between chapter 5 and chapter 6 stuff now. Jay works at Save on Foods. On Monday, he worked a 4-hour shift and earned 50 bucks. He worked Wednesday for 6 hours and earned 75, while on Friday he worked 9 hours and earned 112.50. So it looks as though he only gets paid for each full hour worked. So what happens is if you work 40 minutes in an hour, guess what? You don't get paid at all. You have to work the full 60 minutes before you get paid. Now let's plot this data on this graph. So let's go ahead and plot. It says let's compare Jay's pay with time worked. Now which one do you think is the independent variable here? Time. Good. This is the independent. And then the pay is the dependent. Okay? So let's go ahead and try this first. I will graph things out. Okay? And then we will list things out as time. This is in hours, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. And then the money, or the pay, is your independent variable. So pay, it goes from anywhere from 0 to like $112. Wow. Let's just do $10 each. So each of these dashes represents $10. That looks what? Are you insulting my letters? It's true. In high school, I was voted person with the best chicken scratch. You know, chicken scratch is the worst handwriting in the world. That's what chicken scratch is. Actually, let me stop recording this first. Plot the points. So 4 hours, 50 bucks. 6 hours, $75. 75 would be right about there, I guess. 9 hours, 112 and 50. So there's an estimate, but there you go. It looks like all the points are on a line, which is nice too. And I think the line actually goes to 0. Okay. Now, this is what we learned last day, okay? After connecting them together, I'm asking you, what is the slope of this line? Anyone want to sing for me?
Oh, Jan.
Jan.
What? Wait, I'm so confused.
You're so confused? The song. Do you remember?
Oh, I was singing that in socials. Yeah.
Good. Slope equals
Y
sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over
x sub 2 minus x sub 1.
Okay, so there's a slope formula, which I asked you to sing. Okay, and you love that song. Good. It's your favorite song for the next 2 days. Now, what are my coordinates here to actually calculate the slope? I need some coordinate numbers. Well, if you want to use the coordinates on your graph, here's one, 4, 50. Where's another one? How about up here? 6, 75. So remember x1, y1. So maybe I'll call the green numbers the x1 and the y1. And the red numbers the x2 and the y2. So go ahead now and plug it in. 75, take away 50. 6, take away 4. From last day. 75 take away 50 is 25. 6 take away 4 is 2. So what's the slope here? What's 25 divided by 2 as a decimal? 12.5. Good. Now, I don't need that dollar sign, but 12.5. That's the slope. Good. Remember last day, slope is pretty much the same thing as rate of change. So in this case, what's the context for slope? What are my units for slope here? What's the number on top represent? The 75 and the 50. What are those? Pay, it's dollars. What's the number on the bottom? 6 and 4, what are the numbers? They talk about time. So if you think about it, the 12.5 now is your pay, dollars per hour worked. Well, what is that? That's your hourly wage. Guess what? This guy who works at Save on Foods gets paid $12.50 an hour. That's what it says. Okay. So I'll say Jay's pay rate is $12.50 per hour worked. That's pretty good pay, right? Yeah. My first job, I got paid $5 an hour. That's right, $5 an hour. What did that get me? How many years ago? I started working when I was in grade 9. That's many moons ago. 50 years ago, you want to fail? 60 years ago, you really want to fail? It's gonna send you back to grade 2 to learn some math. Let's do it. Okay. Okay, last question here. Part D. Before I get royally mad that you think I'm like 130 years old. Okay, now part D says this. Assuming that J now can earn pay for each quarter hour worked. Okay, his employer is nicer now. Instead of working full hours, you get paid every quarter of an hour, meaning every 15 minutes. How can your answer to part B be used to determine how much J earns if he works 2 3/4 hours? So by knowing this slope number, how can you figure out how much he earns if he worked 2 3/4 hours? What would you do? Divide by 4 maybe? Well, this is per hour, right? How many hours are you working here? 2 3/4 as a decimal is how many hours? 2 point what? Yeah. Okay, careful. It's 45 minutes, but as a decimal, it's 0.75, right? 3 divided by 4, that's 0.75. But you're correct, that's 45 minutes. So really what I'm saying is he worked 2.75 hours. Well, if he gets paid $12.50 per hour, how much does he get paid for 2.75 hours? What do you do? Okay, well, how'd you get that number, though? What did you do? You multiply the $12.50 and the $2.75. Exactly. Okay, so you use the slope, your rate of change. And you do this. Can someone shout the answer? Because I'm too lazy. 34.37? Let's round up to the nearest penny. 34.30. Yeah. Is it 37, 38? Okay. So almost $35 for 2 and 0.75 hours of work. Cool. What about the next one then? The time it took Jay to earn 78.13. How would you calculate that?
Divide it by the.
Yeah, divided by the 12.5.
Yay!
All right.
Yes!
Grade 12s, not grade 12s, grade 10s. Go. And by the time you come back, I'll give you the answer. All grade 10s.